Rain drummed against the living room window, blurring the world outside into endless shades of gray. Inside, the house held a steady, rhythmic warmth. Mimi sat on the rug, her focus locked on the plastic blocks. She snapped two pieces together, adding to a jagged spire that climbed toward the ceiling. Nearby, baby Ben watched, clapping his paws as the tower swayed. The structure held. From the kitchen, a soft hum preceded the sound of footsteps. Mama Bunny stepped into the room, balancing a single ceramic plate with careful precision. She moved to the coffee table and set the plate down. The scent of warm butter and sugar drifted through the air, cutting through the damp chill of the afternoon. "This cookie is for Grandpa," she said, wiping her paws. Grandpa Bunny sat in his armchair, the paper in his hands rustling as he turned a page. He looked toward the table, the plate waiting, as the rain continued its steady, relentless beat against the glass. Grandpa reached out, his hand steady as it moved toward the center of the table. His fingers brushed the smooth ceramic, but met nothing but air. He paused, frowning, and lowered his newspaper to look directly at the plate. It was bare. "Oh dear! My cookie disappeared!" he exclaimed, his voice sharp against the steady rhythm of the rain. Mimi dropped her block, the plastic clattering loudly against the wood floor. She scrambled to the table, hands sweeping across the surface, but found only crumbs. The peaceful hum of the room shattered. Mimi dropped to her knees, head tilted to peer into the dark gap beneath the coffee table. Mama Bunny moved with sudden urgency, pulling the sofa cushions aside one by one, revealing only gray dust and lost lint. Grandpa stood up, the newspaper sliding from his lap to the floor. He marched to the toy box, tossing aside plastic cars and stuffed animals in a desperate hunt. They moved in a flurry of motion, shifting rugs and checking behind chairs. The domestic silence replaced by the sound of frantic shuffling and heavy breathing as they searched every corner of the room. The search grew increasingly desperate. Mama Bunny checked the bookshelf, sliding heavy volumes aside, while Mimi crawled under the dining chairs. They were looking in every shadow, every hidden pocket of the room. But the plate remained an empty, mocking circle of porcelain. The rain outside seemed to amplify, a relentless tapping against the glass that underscored their growing agitation. Grandpa moved to the far end of the room, lifting a heavy floor lamp to inspect the base, his brow furrowed in concentration. Footsteps echoed, fabric rustled, furniture scraped. Then it happened. A sharp, rhythmic sound cut through the noise like a blade. Crunch. The effect was immediate. The room went dead silent. The sound came again, deliberate and unmistakable. Crunch. Everyone stopped where they stood. Mimi froze with her hand under the table. Mama Bunny stood rigid, holding a sofa cushion in midair. Grandpa slowly straightened his back, his gaze narrowing. They all pivoted in unison, turning their heads toward the quietest corner of the room, where baby Ben sat with his back to them. The air grew thick with anticipation as they stared at the small, motionless figure waiting for the next movement. The room held its breath. Baby Ben sat hunched in the corner, his small frame trembling with rhythmic, muffled movements. Every eye in the house was fixed on him. As the family crept forward, the silence was absolute, save for the steady drumming of rain against the glass. Ben shifted, his paws working with quick, purposeful motions. He turned. The mystery vanished in an instant. His face was a map of golden crumbs and dark chocolate chips. A smudge of butter sat on his nose. He blinked at them, his cheeks puffed out like a squirrel storing nuts for winter. He swallowed, the movement visible in his small throat, and let out a soft, contented, "Yummy!" The collective tension that had gripped the room snapped. Mama Bunny leaned her weight against the doorframe, her shoulders dropping as a low chuckle escaped her. Grandpa lowered his newspaper, his long whiskers twitching as his mouth curved into a smile. He tapped the paper against his knee, the sharp sound now light and playful. He stepped forward, reaching out to ruffle the fur on Ben's head. The frantic energy of the search dissolved, replaced by the warmth of the room and the quiet, rhythmic sound of the rain outside. Mama Bunny turned and walked back toward the kitchen. The rhythmic, metallic sound of the oven door opening and closing echoed through the house, followed by the soft clink of ceramic against wood. Moments later, she reappeared, balancing a large tray piled high with fresh, steaming cookies. The scent of warm butter and sugar flooded the room, stronger than before. "Cookie party!" Mimi cheered, scrambling to her feet and reaching out to grab a treat before it even hit the coffee table. The family gathered on the rug, huddling close in a tight circle. Grandpa sat down heavily, his newspaper forgotten on the armchair, while baby Ben climbed into the center of the group with wide, curious eyes. They passed the tray around, each member taking a cookie, the warmth of the treats contrasting sharply with the cold, wet rhythm of the rain drumming against the glass. They shared the batch together, laughing as they recounted the earlier search. The mystery of the missing treat was now just a memory, replaced by the quiet, cozy reality of the afternoon. Outside, the storm continued to blur the world into shades of gray, but inside the room remained bright, warm, and filled with the sound of contentment.
Hi, friends! If you love adventures with the three Sister Tales, tap that like button, share this magic with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Click the bell so you never miss a Storytime surprise. Thanks for being part of our Sister Squad. See you in the next tale.